Every day is a repeat of yesterday. All the nations of the world fail. They fell short of representing the joy of heaven when constructing a social order reflective of their development beyond the personal. When America established herself as a new nation, she rejected all previous, including the higher power, if there is to be such. In fact, any accepted spiritual knowledge would be bent to justify the decision of the founders. This being the choice, America started off with problems that served as a cancer to the body politics. Even in their decisive process, pain and suffering was dealt to many that was not dealt to others. They fell into the slop jar of selfishness that all others have fallen into, those who rejected God. Every day a policy is determined. It is designed to further the personal and to handcuff the all. And as long as this cancer exists, the major damage spreads, and it spreads to its lowest, which is destruction. It is difficult to convince people that they've been tricked, when to believe so means a worst outcome. So, fear is the reason that this change is rejected. But we who know the robbery that has taken place, I'm talking about the robbery of life, we must expose and replace before evil kills. Any more of our supporters are its own, supporters of truth, supporters of love, supporters of satisfaction. When Republicans and Democrats debate, two different perspectives are presented, and neither serve as a solution. Why aren't, or should I say, why are solutions denied a seat at the table? Generated wealth for everyone is smart, is wise. Generated wealth for everybody. For people to be satisfied in life, they need to have access to all of the resources that they require that exist. Now, either they must be able to access it free, or if there's something that's required, they must have an abundance of that so that it and the absence thereof would not deny them that benefit. When you consider this generated wealth, you expect that people, for the most part, would be satisfied with the things of life. And that being the case, so many other areas where we fall short at themselves would dissipate. But you remember when you didn't win the lottery, remember how you felt? You couldn't get out of debt like you had thought you could. You couldn't buy the house. You couldn't buy the car. You won't be able to go to the school, and you won't have access to the kind of health care that you require. Not only that, you won't be able to take advantage of vacations. You know, sort of like the the reality of God, right? You know, they said that you be able to lay hands on them the sick and they would recover. You know, they told you about heaven, everything was just fine, and God was to be responsible for all of that. Well, how has that worked for you? Well, I tell you what, I don't blame God for anything. I blame human beings for everything. What's missing? Maybe it's in waiting for something like the lottery. Or maybe it is in waiting for something like a return of a mystical feather, fella. Wow. Anyway, neither of those are the answer. So the one thing that we have not tried is ourselves. Every last one of us want to be satisfied in life. Every last one of us. And if every last one of us want to be satisfied in life, why would it require for us to take the satisfaction out of someone else's life? Should it be possible that we could all be satisfied without doing that? And if it is possible, then why not do that? How is it possible? It is possible, my friends, when all of the stuff and all of the things that we can imagine that we might want, when we decide to work together in such a way that we can produce all of the stuff in such an abundance that each and every last one of us can access it whenever we need it, want it, or desire it. And the thing that motivates us and keeps us going is that what we choose to do is that which gives us our greatest joy when we do it. And heaven is just a benefit. Really, the joy of what we do is what life is all about. Heaven is just a benefit. Now, looking at it like that, ladies and gentlemen, why is it that someone would want to listen to people like Putin or Donald J. Trump or any Republicans that I hear talk? Why would you want to listen to that? That is just foolishness to me, plain old foolishness. But I'm not going to try to talk you into listening to Democrats. I must admit, Democrats do have a little bit more compassion and empathy for people than Republicans. But that doesn't matter. They don't have enough to care for all of the people. So there's no difference between Republican and Democrat, really, when you get down to the real nitty-gritty. And not only are there no differences between the Republicans and Democrats, there are no differences between you, the people. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat or anything in between. Every last one of us says every day that it is okay for poverty to exist. Every last one of us say it is okay for the consequences of poverty, crime, and violence. Not only that, this stuff causes much bigger problems. It causes exercise of hatred. It causes the exercise of racism and bigotry. Not only that, it takes us to the point that we start hating one another. We start carrying guns, don't want to be without them. Try to use the Second Amendment to justify it. But no, we need it to protect ourselves because we are living in hell. That is what it is all about. But we don't have to. We can change anytime we get ready. Right now, we're just living a lie. We've been deceived, we've been tricked, and we too ashamed to admit it. Many of us are too ashamed to let people know that we're suffering. Too ashamed to let folks know we can't pay our bills because they got us thinking that if we can't pay our bills, there's something wrong with us. Ain't nothing wrong with us, except we have allowed a part of the system to rob us, what do you feel like? You out there, your car can't get fixed, your house needs some work done, and you don't even have $100 in the bank. And there's some joke out here named so-and-so and so-and-so walk around with the title, the richest man in the world. How in the heaven could some stuff like that happen? It can't happen in heaven. It can only happen in hell. Because in order for that to happen, it's some great robbery, some lying, and some devilish things taking place. And that's exactly the only way stuff like that can happen. And we, the American people and people of the world, we are guilty. We are as guilty as sin. We are as guilty as Trump. We are as guilty as Putin. We are as guilty as any murder. We put up with this stuff and point our fingers at somebody else. And people try to tell us, people try to warn us, people say things we can do, and you will not say one thing. You keep on spreading that lie because you're blind as a bat. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about human beings. Well, this was the message that I was supposed to give you. Thank you so very much.